Good morning. This is the Richland County Board of Commissioners, Darrell Banks, Cliff Mears, and Tony Vero, Commissioners. Clerk is Stacy Crawl. Assistant Clerk is Heather Toman. Andrew Keller is our Administrator. And from our Wastewater Department, we have Miss Miller. So Miss Miller, you're here to talk about a approval of an MOU you have with the union,
Yes.
among other things.
As you know, we had our chief of maintenance job. Unfortunately, the rate of pay we were offering, we got no applications. So in looking at that, we went into negotiations with the union to not only increase the rate of pay for the chief of maintenance from 1710 to 2010. We also looked at a couple other positions to just be addressed as we go forward. We know we're going to have some vacancies with retirement coming in the near future, so we're just trying to get ahead of that. In working with the union, we did agree to raise these rates of pay for the chief of maintenance, our operator position, and our assistant maintenance position. If I'm in agreement with these rates, I request that you approve the MOU today so that we can move forward.
Make a motion to approve the MOU.
Second.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Vero?
Yes.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes.
Okay, and you'd like us to authorize advertising for that position, correct?
Yes, now that you you do that, I want to jump into it. I still currently only have one employee that would be qualified to move that position. I'm not sure whether or not he would be interested in taking the position. But I'd still like to advertise the position and for the union for 5 days and advertise concurrent together so that we can move forward. We are actually in need of another person. Sooner I can fill the position, the better.
I'll make a motion to approve the advertising.
Second.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Vero?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, while we have you here, Amanda, by the way, is Carl online?
Yes.
Carl Hunnell from the Richmond Source is online. We have in our packet today asked to approve 2 fair market value estimates for our Belleville sewer project, which Andrew, would you like to address this?
Sure. These are 2 separate takings, otherwise known as appropriations, related to our Belleville sewer project. They're not large takes. One is a little over an acre, the other is about a half acre. Part of being a federally funded project, we have to follow the federal eminent domain process. So we have 70-page reports prepared on each parcel. And part of that involves a good faith offer that the county to the property owner for the property based upon the appraisal report. That's what the commissioners are to approve today, is approving this appraisal report as well as the fair market value estimate. These are not developable properties. They're going to provide better access particularly for the lift station at Belleville-Johnsville Road.
Okay.
We've had a lot of discussion on this, so I'm glad in front of us. I would make a motion to approve the appraisals.
Second.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Vero?
Yes.
Commissioner Mears?
Okay. Carl, do you have any questions while Amanda's still here?
Oh, always have questions about things. Looking at the fair market offerings, Andrew, what's the dollar amount on both of those that are going to be offered, and how big are those parcels?
Sure, Carl. The first is 1.235 plus or minus acres. And the fair market value estimate is $1,500. Amanda can correct me, but these properties are, again, not subject to development. They are subject to certain restrictions and encumbrances. So
Within the floodplain, and they're both swampy and woods.
Yeah,
the second parcel is 0.557 plus or minus acres. The FMVE on that is $2,300. These are good faith offers, so the county will engage with these property owners and entertain any necessary negotiations.
These are both near the current lift station, or they're going to be where the new lift station is going to be?
they're
Current.
where the current one is. It's on each side of the current.
Okay, and I think I heard Commissioner Banks, these are kind of in a floodplain, so does that help make them non-developable, developable?
It, yeah. It contributes to that, them being non-developable. But both of them already have easements on them. The 1.53 acre one already has roadway easements, as it is right there at the corner of 97 and Belleville-Johnsville Road.
Would you agree, Amanda? They're non-developable. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's
This
what
is-
0.224 of the 1.53 is the only part that could be developed on, and then that's subject to floodplain.
Just to double check, one parcel is 1.235 and the other is 0.557?
1.5.
That's correct. 0.557 and 1.235.
235, okay.
Are they owned by the same person, or are we talking about two different owners?
Different owners.
Has there been any prior discussion, or is this will be the first part of this effort?
Well, the owners have already been reached out to by our consultant. The offer has been made, so today is a bit of a formality.
If you had to gauge, or if you would choose to gauge, do the owners of these two parcels seem receptive to this offer, or do you know yet?
I can't comment on that. Our consultant was privy to the negotiations.
Okay, that's what I had. Is there a time frame for when you expect, I guess I should ask this, is there a time frame for when these negotiations and process might be complete?
We don't have a calendared time frame at this point. Obviously, sooner rather than later would be helpful for expediency's sake, but we don't expect these acquisitions to be controversial or problematic. Ultimately, it will require a meeting of the minds.
You are trying to acquire these properties, not just get an easement, correct?
Correct.
These offers are based upon fee simple ownership.
Okay, and the funding for this, if it went through at $3,800, does that come out of the same ARPA funded project that's paying for the wastewater project?
Most likely. It'll depend on how we're able to write that check. We've been discussing that with our engineer, but that would be our intent.
Thank you for not saying with respect to the writing of the check. I certainly appreciate that. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, guys.
Well, let's move down to the other. Can we certify the record of proceedings for August 20th?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
Yes,
Can we approve acquisitions?
so moved.
Second.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes,
And can we approve the weekly transfers and appropriations?
So moved.
second.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mears?
Okay. The engineer has asked us to authorize the load posting on the Bowman Street Bridge. This would restrict how much depending on the number of axles, how much the load limits would be on Bowman Street Bridge.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow?
Yeah.
Commissioner Mears?
And he's asked for the same to authorize load posting on Keeler Road Bridge.
Second.
Commissioner Banks? Barrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes,
And from Richland County Job and Family Service, Lori has sent up a request to authorize offering employment to 5 different individuals.
So moved. If Carl has any questions, we can send him a letter. It's 5 positions. There's 3 eligibility referral specialists, 2. There's a social service worker 1/childcare. There's a unit support worker 2, and these are just authorizing making the offers. We'll come back and report if they accept.
second.
Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any other? Do you have any questions, Carl?
No, sir, I do not. Thank you very much.
Okay, it is 10:42 and we will stand in recess.
And it's 9:42.
Well, I'm always a little ahead.
Still time.
9:42. Yeah, I keep telling my wife it's 10:42, so she'll be ready. It's 9:42 and we will stand in recess and come back at 10 o'clock where we will have executive session to discuss union negotiations for the sheriff's department. I do not think we'll have any action to take.
Yeah, I was about to ask that, so thank you.
I knew you were. I was trying to keep ahead of you. First time I had a chance.
Do we want to wait for the sheriff?
He should be coming.
He parked before we did.
You guys have to start, go ahead. Don't join in. Okay.
Okay, it's 10:01, and can I get a motion to go in executive session to discuss union negotiations?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
o'clock, and we're coming out of executive session where this will continue to negotiate. And now we're back in regular session, and we have our IT department here, Matt Hill.
They're all in.
What would you like to talk about here? Three different things.
Yeah.
Mary and Rachel is also here. You wanna,
I am sitting as an observer.
okay,
I've kind of worked with Matt on this, but I have a hand in this because of our copiers.
okay. Making sure it tells us the truth, right?
Yes.
Terry also.
We're his cheerleaders.
Terry Hyde and Matt Hill from IT is with us, and Rachel Troyer from Central Purchasing.
Pat Dropsy will be coming in.
Yeah, Pat will be in a second. I started exploring our current SIP phones, so our desk phones are currently under Lumen for that service. That contract was end April 6th of 2023. So we've been on month to month since then. And kind of been waiting for the right time to move us to another company. But one thing I kind of did as I did some research, and I found a place called MICTA, stands for Michigan Collegiate Telecommunications Association.
Michigan.
End of story.
I know. They're gonna help us save some money here.
Yeah,
Right now, our Lumen bill each month is,
spying on you right now.
what's that?
Probably spying on
They
you.
probably are. But right now, our Lumen phone bill is about $3,300 a month. Kind of thought there was a way to save money on that, and we found that way. MICTA is kind of like a consortium, so we're allowed to use it without doing an RFP. Our switching from Lumen to Spectrum under this MICTA contract will bring our bill down to $696 plus tax, fees, and surcharges
A month.
per month, yes. So we're looking at $5,600 a year plus usage for long distance. That can fluctuate that bill a little bit. $5,600 per year is compared to about 42,000 a year. So it's a huge savings in phone service.
Michigan for that kind of.
79% saving.
Yeah, it's a huge cost that we'll keep. So like so far this year, we've spent 27,000 on our bill.
What's the savings on that, Matt?
Current to date, we spent $26,726 for our Lumen bill. That same time frame with Spectrum would be $5,568 plus or minus for usage for long distance.
What's the reason for the much cheaper? I'm just not used to seeing price reductions in today's inflationary world. So I'm trying to understand, is it, when it's too good to be true, is it too good to?
Well, and that's even Gary, I have no idea how to say his last, like Krotowski. He's our rep with Spectrum. When he sent us the quote, I don't know, did you guys get a copy of the quote? Okay, yes. I said, are you sure? Because right now it's that 3,300 roughly each month is split between this building and People's building. We have 2 trunks that go out at each. So in case something happens, we still have phone service. And I thought maybe, I said, is that per building? And he said, no, that's the whole cost.
700 a month
700
times 12.
plus usage for long distance. And we get 18,000 times 2. So 18,000 minutes of long distance here, 18,000 minutes of long distance that comes out of People's. Our phone line's kind of
How are we doing on the usage? Do we ever go over?
barely. Right now we get 20,000 roughly with Lumen. So far this year, we've went over twice.
So what would that cost be at Spectrum figures with going over?
Well, we get 16,000 more minutes of long distance. So I'm hoping that we went.
I thought you said we're at 20,000, we'd be dropping down to 18,000.
No. 18,000 here and 18,000 at People's. So 36,000, yeah, total minutes. So we're getting 16,000 more long distance minutes.
Why is Sherry, Rachel, why?
Rachel don't know.
Okay,
Different companies.
No startup cost.
I see you have a,
And MICTA did an RFP.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
so we're
Mick
just
did an RFP.
piggybacking on them as if they were, as if it was a state contract.
We do have to pay for, Victor, you have to pay to be in. It's $400 per year.
that we're not paying now?
We are not. We have been a member in the past,
When did we quit, you know?
2000. What'd you tell me?
It was, I think that it was.
2004. So way before
Years ago.
the two switchovers ago, actually.
Yeah, it was
That's
two
two,
switchovers.
because this wasn't on the last one that, I believe Marilyn was on that one. I don't think Tony or Daryl was here at that time. I didn't see your guys' signatures on the contract. It was back in 2018 when we signed that contract. I think you guys started in 17, getting ready for that, for what we have
But
now.
we're saving yearly, even the MICTA membership, we're still saving.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80%.
So, and also MICTA's, we only have to stay on it for a year. This is, and then at the end of, I can't remember if this is a 3-year term. So we could just pay for 400 for this year. And then in 3 years, when it's time to get, renew, we can pay that $400 again. There's no contract that you have to be with MICTA every single year going forward. So
How does lumen reliability compare with Spectrum's?
honestly, we have not had too many issues with Lumen. And if it was stuff that there was a fiber line cut up in Cleveland that affected us 2 years ago, I believe.
So when you say honestly, does that mean the other times you don't say honestly before you talk, you're not being honest?
We've had that one at,
I always love that. Can I speak to you honestly? Well, does that mean all the other times you haven't been speaking to me honestly?
yeah, just you, Tony. But,
Yes, A+ for Sherry.
but I mean, in the 5 years that we've had the Lumen service, we've had 2 issues and both of them were cut fibers in the Cleveland area. It had nothing to do with storm.
We won't know how we'll do with Spectrum and if.
Now-
That's the point. What about Spectrum though?
Now our buildings use Spectrum for our internet. We have, the only outage that we ever had was the storm in 20.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, that's the only time that we had an issue. But everybody had an issue. It wasn't just the county, it was the city had problems, Ontario had problems, so it wasn't just us, but that was a pretty good storm, so. And since then, we have backup internet and things like that we've implemented, so. But no, we've only had that one issue. It was weather related with, we have, I think 17 circuits with Spectrum, and this would be 2 more with them as well. And we've only had that one issue.
I mean,
You gotta try it.
we gotta try it. Motion.
No, we're not done. Not done yet. So let's explain the rest of the story, Paul Harvey.
Oh, see,
We should have known better.
Like the sheriff's department and the different.
That's a different thing. That's my,
had a different thing there?
that's a different
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yep.
So, okay,
So, but
I want to argue. So, yeah.
For budget time, when you lose again, your next projected revenue.
Yeah, okay.
That's,
My understanding is this should be voted on.
Yes.
So we have a first and a second?
Oh, yes, Commissioner Banks.
Yes,
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
proceed.
thank you. Now this does involve Rachel. I will get contracts to you guys.
What topic are we on? Are we on the facts?
This is the facts, yes.
Okay.
We spend a ton of money and they're called POTS lines, plain old telephone service.
About the dispensaries and.
Yeah, no, let's not bring that one up yet. Right now I have,
acronym.
I have 45 fax lines that I know of. I think there's more. But we've already had some departments move towards this. JFS and OMJ moved towards fax to email. Earlier this year, you guys actually signed the rights away to the phone numbers to move. It's gonna go to the exact same service. Same company, CBTS. They have a state of Ohio contract. and they provide all fax to email for pretty much the whole state. But I was going through, and the fax lines that I know of, some of them I don't know because I don't see the bill, or I'm not involved with seeing the bill at all, so I'm not sure about everybody, but I have out of those 46, I have 30 that I believe we can move right now over to fax to email. Our current phone lines are with our fax lines are with Brightspeed. Price per line is anywhere from $31 to $68 and some change each month. We spend $45,000 a year in plain phone lines. And we don't really receive a whole lot of faxes. So I had talked to CBTS a few years ago. Before COVID, people freaked out because at that point it was not HIPAA compliant. COVID changed things, so now it's HIPAA compliant. And we can move pretty much everybody except for juvie and the sheriff's office and jail. It has to be FIPS compliant, and it is not at this time. Bad thing is that's 16 of our fax lines that we can't move. So I was told 2 to 3 years, that FIPS compliance would be in for the sheriff's office and jail. So we just got to kind of wait for that one.
Is that an issue of encryption?
What's that?
Is that an issue because of?
Yes. And the type of, some of it's evidence that's faxed. So
What's FIPS?
I have no idea what it stands for, to be honest.
What is it? PI or PH? What?
FIPS, I believe. Yeah, FIPS,
Okay.
Federal Information Processing Standards.
Nope.
Feds are involved. But with moving our lines to this fax email, it's 97 cents per line per month. So just under $12 per phone number a year.
So what's the bottom line there?
A lot.
Okay.
So
He's not a math guy.
I'm not a math guy. I'm an IT.
do we have to do this right now?
Yes. We're saving like 20 grand a year and 20 to 30 grand a
Okay,
year.
what's the increase on going to the fax to email?
To me, it's actually more, the whole point is it's actually more secure because we can pick and choose who gets the fax. So Pat's office, if Pat says, I want all the faxes to come to me, we can send all the faxes right to his email.
You never get answers to the questions.
Wait, what'd you ask?
What's the bottom line cost?
Oh, you guys don't have that one in front of you?
No.
No,
Oh,
Maybe.
Get that.
dang it.
not on the.
My bad. That's my fault. That's my fault. So this,
Double F minus.
I know, jeez.
Jeez,
This is 34 lines.
I just don't get answers anymore. I asked a question earlier,
So-
talked for 5
I
minutes.
send them to class to do that, to learn how to do that to you. So they get really good at it to where it's seamless.
It was a good time, actually. There was a.
All right.
So I think I have about 30 to 34 phone lines that I can move. The one-time charge is $125.80. That's one time, and that's on the very first bill.
That's for moving all those 30.
Yeah, 34, yeah. The quantity of faxes, we kind of guessed on that because I started this and then we took out all the old copiers. So I could not get to that data anymore to see what each fax line
Cost
spent.
right now for the fax lines.
Just right now, $1,661.81 per month is what we spend. And we would be looking at, under $34 a month per fax line plus usage.
So it's gonna be about 2,500 more a month ballpark.
No, that's per year.
Oh, I'm sorry, 25 more hundred.
Yeah. The monthly cost would be right around $287.98. Yearly would be just over $3,400. And we can move this, the quantity of faxes the per pages of faxes is because I didn't know the data was gone when I requested this quote from CBTS. So I don't have that historical data. So we could honestly only send maybe 1,000 faxes, send or receive 1,000 faxes per month. I really don't know that number.
The fax cost right now?
So,
Fax cost right now?
About About 1,661, I thought,
Per month, yeah.
per month, as opposed to the 3,455.
No, opposed to the 287.
Yes.
1,600 a month now, 287 a month. Fax to email.
It's on, there's a,
No, and I'm talking annual, let's go back.
oh, annual?
Annual cost, I show it'll be basically 3,500, right? If we
Right,
go to fax to email.
right.
The annual cost with fax right now is about 1,661, right?
No. I thought you asked for monthly. It's just under 20 grand per year.
And we're gonna save over.
1661 is a month.
So we're saving on the move to fax too?
Yes.
You had said when we went into this, no, there's another component though. So I was,
But we're not to that point yet.
We're building up to that.
It has nothing to do with the cost.
So here's the bottom. If you guys choose to allow us to do this and you grant us that ability to do this, there are some departments that don't want to switch. They don't get a choice. Unless somebody can explain to me why they don't want to save any money for the county.
what would be the argument in not switching?
It has to go against some kind of a compliance. So like the
Yeah,
sheriff's
The
office.
sheriff's office can't because there's a federal rule that
Right, I mean, any places that can't allow,
departments that have no desire to switch and have no reason to say that. And my response to them is, you telling me you don't want to save any money?
Yeah.
okay. So let's at least try to hear, how many we talking about that don't want to make this move?
Well, we're not sure, but the bottom line is we'll just say, look, you provide the documentation that says you can't do this.
Right, let's say, hey, look,
Oh, we
we'd like to make the switch, it's a cost savings.
But
And if you don't want to do this, is there any legal reason why we don't have to do this?
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I would like to
Correct.
do.
And the only reason we'll accept is that there is a legal reason.
has to be,
Right.
HIPAA, safety services.
this is HIPAA
all
compliant, so
compliant, right? As
out the door.
okay,
It has to be some kind of federal or homeland security type thing that says.
savings on both of these moves.
Correct.
Mhm.
I'm actually not asking for money.
And
It's never try, I mean, I always give you this,
Well, I'm not gonna put all this together. We're saving about 48,120 a year.
Pretty much, yeah.
We've been 31,248 on the
HICTA, yeah.
yeah, and the fax to email is about 20,000.
so if someone wants to fax us, like right now, some of our job applications can be faxed, so that phone number would be gone.
No, phone number stays,
it just comes via email.
comes via email, and we decide who gets it. So like I said, if Pat just wants all the faxes to come into his box and he gives them out to real estate or finance how he wants, he's allowed to do that.
I always felt faxes would be outdated and I'm surprised it's taken this long.
COVID really helped it. It really did. Cause I had explored this back in 2019 before COVID hit, and then it wasn't fully HIPAA compliant at that time, but since we weren't allowed to see each other during COVID, it miraculously started working.
Disappointed I didn't have to see you.
Yeah, I know, whatever. But
Actually,
Can we get a motion to approve from fax to email?
So moved.
Okay, we gotta,
Well, Darryl, we gotta do do you want to do them both? Should we do them separately or together?
the Spectrum
We already did.
and Brightspeed, the fax to email.
All right, did we vote on the other one?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
I apologize.
Okay.
Okay, motion.
Second,
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
yes,
And what are we gonna hear in the last thing you got? Till the end to tell us.
no, that was
it was the
second part.
needing the compliance part of
Okay.
why you don't want it. And also,
Yeah, I would also like to add, just as a side note, this time when we bid our copiers, we had 90 copiers, 57 of them are walk-in faxes. So the next time, once we get this in place, next time we bid for our copiers, we should see a rate.
Maybe we should see some savings, right?
Yes, it's not gonna be huge.
Right.
But
There'll still be something.
$500 when they go into that copier. And that is spread, of course, along the life.
10 years, they won't even have fax boards. Wow.
probably
So
not.
that will be a future savings. It's not right now, but
Is that 3 years on that?
it's 3-year with 2 1-year renewals.
Okay. So
Well, thank you for speaking to us honestly this time.
I try, Tony. I try. But sometimes you just bring out the nasty.
A+ for Sherry.
Sure, you didn't even do anything.
Okay.
Anybody online?
I will,
Carl out there? Nope. Anything else, gentlemen?
Did you like the Raging Cajun?
I actually like the first guy.
I didn't like him.
11:20. And we stand adjourned.
I didn't like the
I'll,
guy.
I'll get the
guy
contracts
was
and I'll
kind of
send them to
okay.
both of you.
Raging Cajun, the Raging Cajun made